Oh, I smell a fucking cheetah. Hello, my name is Detective Craig, and apart from a fat bitch with big feet, there is nothing more that tingles my balls than exposing a cheetah. So in the recent weeks I have come out of retirement and I have hunted down one of the dirtiest, filthy, macroing pigs in the community. And that man goes by the name of SERPENTAU. From the outside, Serpent looks like your average Joe. He edits fast, he steals tweets, he does insane flicks. Just like me, he loves the all-male brothels. But what I have uncovered will shake you to your core. There is more to Serpent than meets the eye, and today I am going to reveal evidence that proves SERPENTAU not only uses macros, but also uses aimbot. Yes, you heard it here first, folks. Literal aimbot. Now, before we get into the sugar, I just want to throw it out there that I have nothing against Serpent as a person. He is probably a great bloke in real life. But when it comes to gaming, he is a dirty little cheater. There are thousands of little Timmies out there grinding their pubeless sacks off trying to make a career out of gaming in YouTube. And then you've got big SERPENTAU, the Lance Armstrong of Fortnite. So I'm going to be splitting this doco up into 3 parts. Now 1, we're going to be explaining what a macro is and how it actually works. And then 2, I'm going to show you exactly when Serpent started using macros and the evidence so damning it'll get your nuts in a twist. And 3, we have heartbreaking proof that reveals SERPENTAU uses literal aimbot. If this video gets 40k likes, you will see a return of Craig. Let's fucking do this. So for the people out there who do not know what a macro is, I'm going to try and explain this in the simplest way possible. A macro is basically a faster, easier shortcut which allows you to perform multiple actions in just one step. They're usually used for speeding up and simplifying a multiple step process. Now if you were to set up a dirty macro to edit faster like Serpent has, you would only have to press one key and everything would be done for you. Instead of pressing all those binds you would normally have to, you just have to press one bind and that software you've set the macro up in would do the rest for you. And one thing not a lot of you young folks realise is that macros are extremely easy to set up. They are nearly as easy as pulling a fat bitch at your local pub. Just about every mouse and keyboard software has the ability to create a macro. Logitech, Razer, Alienware, mate, you name it, they've all got it. You can easily set up a macro in under 1 minute. But I would highly recommend not doing that, as I'll be on your tail as hot as a fucking fly on dog shit. And it is also against TOS and is bannable if you are caught. And just about every other game, macros are considered cheating, so definitely do not touch them with a 10-foot pole. So just to give you blokes a better picture of what it actually looks like to use macros on Fortnite, I have an example here for you guys that a friend of mine named Gary has whipped up in about 2 minutes. So I'm going to quickly skim through and explain what he's actually doing and the reasoning behind it. Alright, here we are. So I think Big Gary's getting a bit horny and trying to expose someone else in this clip, but this video is about Serpent, so we're not going to worry about that. Now he's going to come down here and he's going to change his building edit to G and his select building edit to F. Now when using macros you need to have 2 select building edits binded. Okay, so he's going to open up his little macro program. They all look a bit different. As you can see here, macro recording settings, and he's going to put in his little sequence here. He's going to press G. Yep, he's going to delete all this, he doesn't need it. Now here, he's going to put in 9999. He's put in as much as he can so he can hold the edit for as long as possible. The person he's trying to expose in this video is using edit on release. Now here, he's going to change this to 7 ms. That is the time in between each event in the sequence, okay? So if you go down lower than 5 or 7, that's when the program starts to wig out. If you go down to 1, it just does not work properly. So he's put it down to 7 as low as he can go. So it's as fast as possible. And as you can see here, he's going to bind it to F. So every time he presses F, this fucking macro he's set up with G is going to happen. Now he's going to go back into his game here. And bang. He's Lightning McQueen. He's taken his hand off the mouse and look at him go, Gary. He's unbelievable. And he's clearly doing drag edits. So anyone out there saying you can't do drag edits while macroing, you're a crumb, you don't know what you're talking about. There it is, folks. He's pressing one key and it's all done for him. So a couple things to keep in the back of your mind. Serpent has never done a hand cam, despite getting asked thousands of times. He has never done a single hand cam. He has also gone out of his way to delete comments having anything to do with accusing him of macroing. he has also deleted his settings video. But anyway, thankfully I've got more connections than a bloody drug dealer and I've got a hold of Serpent's settings. Now if we have a look here, you can see he's got 2 select edit binds. And if you remember back into that demonstration, I mentioned when using macros, you usually have to have 2 select edit binds. So alongside his left click, he's got the big old trusty F1. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that's the first person I've ever seen use F1 as their select building edit bind. You'd have to snap your cock to try and get your finger up there, let alone press the little bastard 100 times in a second. So F1 is the bind he has macroed and set to G, which is his edit bind. So every time he presses G, this little macro software runs its little sequence he's programmed and does everything for him. Now most of you have probably seen how fast Serpent's edits are, and I could probably sit here for an hour and point out clips that are just not humanly possible. But for time purposes, I'm going to skip straight to when he first started using macros and show you where it all began. Now I knew for a while the exact video that he first started macroing in, but I could never fully prove it. But until recently, I was talking to an old friend of Serpent's who also believed that Serpent uses macros, and he showed me some old, very, very horny DMs. Okay, so here we are, and the conversation starts with Serpent saying, "What do you mean by a macro edit?" Now, at this stage, Serpent does not know what a macro is. He is just finding out about a macro on September 4th, 2019. The person in this DM had said something in a group chat about a macro, and Serpent's got a bit horny and asked about what it is. He gives a brief little explanation. He goes, "What the fuck? Don't post it, lol." He then says everyone will use it and it will fuck over people with skill. And Serpent, mate, you've hit the nail on the fucking head there. And as we scroll down here, Serpent's saying don't post it, people will figure it out and it'll eventually go public. But little does he know at this point, people have been doing this for fucking years. Editing will take no skill regardless though, that's fast as fuck. How do I make it? This bloke goes, "So it's simple, but you can't use scroll wheel reset." And just skipping this here, he says, "I don't use scroll wheel reset, so this is perfect for me." So this bloke says it's simple to make, you can't use scroll wheel reset, and then he explains to him how to set up the macro. This is the person who showed Serpent how to set up macros. Serpent goes, "I don't use scroll wheel reset, so this is perfect for me." This bloke then turns his head and goes, "Serpent, hang on mate, settle down." Serpent asks, "Aren't macros bannable though?" Which they are. Serpent then says, "I reckon clickbait with it, say it's a way to instantly edit, but don't bring up the macro part." As we go down here, this bloke has figured out how to set it up, and he has showed Serpent, and Serpent's got a bit of a fucking hard on, I can tell you what. And this looks fairly bloody familiar to Big Serpent's editing speed right now. Serpent's getting a bit of a hard on in the background, and this bloke's explaining that it's how fast you can press one button, because as you remember, everything is done for you. And bang, here is where we get to the sugar. He shows another clip of the macro and Serpent says, "Holy fuck, I am definitely using that." This bloke wasn't actually going to use it for clips, he was just testing it out. I think he ended up actually posting on Twitter, "This is a macro," just showing everyone what it actually looks like. And he says, "Because it's sad, editing won't be skillful." Serpent then goes on to say, "I don't know whether to call it the fastest editor in the world or say it's a way to instant edit, I want to clickbait." So he's already planning to make videos with this thing. And as we go down further, this bloke has figured out how to make it go faster, and he says to him, "Serpent, take a look at this, mate." He shows him the clips, and Serpent has got a raging stiffy on. He then says, "I've got to use my G502 mouse for this. I use Final Mouse, it has no mouse program." And that is basically it, folks. That is the first time Serpent found out what a macro was. And it was all downhill from there. But keep in mind, this little message right here. Wait, can you make macro turns like 90 degrees? Remember that. So as I was reading these messages, I thought to myself, hang on, when was that video that he first posted himself using macros? I checked the dates of the messages, I then went to Serpent's channel, got up the video where I knew he first started macroing in, and lo and behold, the dates matched up perfectly. On September 4th, Serpent first learned about macros and said he was definitely going to use them, and on September 15th, 11 days later, he posted his first video using macros. The perfect amount of time to make a full quality video. Now as we jump on Serpent's channel here and we scroll down a bit, we're going to come across a video called "Editing So Fast I Break the Game." Now this is the video that he blew up on. You can see he's doing half decent here, he's on the rise, and then bang. And this is the video he first started macroing in, and here folks is the clip that sells it all. Look at that. That is a fucking macro if I've ever seen one. This clip also, he's done about 30 edits in half a second. That is just not fucking possible. The 15th of September. Fucking look at that, mate. That is utter bullshit. I think I'm gonna have a fucking epileptic fit. Now, you've got to keep in mind, this is the first video he started macroing in, so he wasn't very good at it first. And as you can see in this clip here I'm about to show you, this is the slowest double edit you'll ever see from SERPENTAU. He hasn't learnt how to set up drag edits just yet. And if we take a look at this, mate, that is the slowest fucking thing I have ever seen. You're taking the mickey. Get a grip, son. Get a grip. Take a jog, champ. And as time goes on here, you can see he gets a little bit better. Look at this, he's macroing his tits off. Oh, he's getting a bit fucking fancy with this one as well. That is clear as day. And then he really started to clickbait the titles here, milking the utter shit out of the macro. Look at that, he's keeping up a castle with a fucking computer program software. And you can just tell as time goes on, he just gets that little bit quicker. Look, you can tell he just gets that tiny bit faster. And we're going to have a look at this clip a bit later, and when I slow it down, you are going to lose your fucking lollies. Now, you probably thought using macros to edit faster was sad enough. Well, this is when it gets seriously twisted, folks. I'd advise everyone watching to have a second pair of underwear on hand, because what you're about to hear is going to make you shit so hard you will bleed. So only until recently I learned that you could macro 360s. Yes, 360-degree turns. Now, if you guys remember that little liar Chixie who uses a Zim, aka a keyboard and mouse that displays a controller input, you'll remember after Chixie was exposed, he constantly did pointless piss-weak 360s. And all the gullible fools out there ate that shit up and said, he does 360s. You can't do that on KBM, he must be on controller. Well, after going back to the Little Liars channel, I realised that Chixie had not only been using a Zim, but he had also been using macros to do 360 spins to make it look like he was on controller. So here we have the first video from Chixie after him getting exposed, and all of a sudden he just started pissing out 360s out of his asshole left and right. And this is the first clip I can show you that I found that is dodgy as fuck. As I slow down, bang, he's looking off into that corner, he's pressed his macro key a couple times, probably set it to 180s, and it has gone to a straight lock. That does not happen on controller. Watch this, 3, 2, 1, bang, locked his cock up. Look at that, that is hard as a nun's cunt. And that is just one of the many examples on Chixie's channel. If you want to look more into that, you can yourself, but enough about that little prick. So only until one day ago, I was sent alarming footage from a man claiming SERPENTAU have been using aimbot. Now, we're going to get into that soon, but if you take a look closely here, you'll notice as I play this flick is a robotic-like 360. The exact same thing that I was just talking about before. Starting position, bang, straight back where he started. Straight lock, hard as a cock. I then investigated further and found multiple clips with the exact same 360-degree turn. Now, if we look at this clip here, I've got it on 0.25 speed, and you see he's looking at his head, bang, straight back on the character's head. Now, I haven't actually gone through the juicy part of this whole clip. I am gonna soon. You probably think that's just a normal regular 360 flick. No, there's more to the story. But I'm just trying to show you that he is macroing 360s. We will get to the sugar soon. And even in this clip here, he's even mentioning 360 flick. You fucking little dodgy cunt. So Serpent does not only use macros for his edits, but he uses them for his flicks. If you are a bit on the edge of anything I've said in this video so far, I am warning you, this last segment will have you losing your fucking mind. So sit back, grab some popcorn, and try not to shit yourself. So this clip in the video that this man has called SERPENTAU for aimbotting, I've gone out of my way and I've found it in his actual video. And I'm warning you now, folks, this is some of the most fucked up shit you will ever see. So as I play this clip normal speed, you don't think much of it. It's a nice little 360 flick. But when I slow it down, folks, you are going to lose your mind. Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready for this. So as I go through frame by frame here, you see Serpent flick past his enemy. He has flicked past this bloke, and watch this, folks. He's going back onto his head. Back on to his fucking head. And then bang! Straight back to where he started. What the fuck? This, folks, is literal aimbot. As you can clearly see, he goes past him, again, comes back onto his fucking chin, and then goes round back to where he started. That is a 360 macro with a fucking aimbot. So I went back and noticed at the start of this guy's video, he shows himself joining Blaze FN's Discord. And if you don't know who Blaze FN is, he is one of the most well-known hackers in Fortnite. He is the king of mods on Fortnite. And you would not believe who is in the Discord. It's big SERPENTAU. He's even got his own role and everything, sitting pretty there. Look at him with his big fucking 300k role. And then as he scrolls up through the posts in Blaze's Discord, from Blaze himself, You see here, he has posted a link of Serpent's video saying, Serpent low-key using our gaming chair. I wonder what that could mean. I then went out of my way to message Blades FN myself, and this is what was said. So I started things off with a hi mate, need to talk to you ASAP with a cheeky beers emoji. He hit me back with a sup. I said, thank God. I'll get straight to it because I know you're a busy man. If you could give me any evidence actually linking Serpent to buying your stuff, I would love that. He then said, got you, I'll see. Leaking that stuff isn't cool, tongue out emoji. I'm in contact with SERPENTAU. What the fuck? So Serpent has been in Blaze FN's DMs, probably sucking his cock dry, begging him not to say anything. I've said that to Blaze, and he's hit me with a little cheeky shh emoji. I then went on to say I'm not surprised, and I asked him, is he paying you to stay quiet? And well, if he was, he definitely wasn't paying him enough. I then went on to say using your products is perfectly fine. I was one of those people a while ago buying spoofers and whatnot, but the part where he's using aimbot to fool his fans and make a career out of it is just not right. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the nail in the coffin. Blaze FN then sent me a screenshot of a post in his Discord from himself with a link to Serpent's video saying, this is Serpent in our disc, check that flick shot, damn he's good. He then sent me a link to the unlock video which we just watched of that robotic 360 macro aimbot, and he said, shh. I don't know what else to say, folks. That is pretty damning evidence. The actual modder himself linking me the video. Now, you may have thought it was just a once-off, but no, I've got multiple clips here of Serpent using aimbot. And as I play this normal speed, it looks like his standard 360 flick. But as I slow it down, I'm gonna go frame by frame here. Bang, looking, back on the ramp, back on the player, back forward. What the fuck? He changes directions about 20 times in this clip. I don't even think he knows where he's fucking going. Look at this, bang, fuck mate, you are a computer program. Glitches back onto the ramp, glitches onto the player, glitches forward. Now, as you remember this clip before, this is the full package. Macroing, aimbot, and clip splitting. Fuck me sideways. As I play at normal speed here, you don't think much. Yes, standard clip, but if I slow this down, hello, baby. So we're on 0.25 here. Oh, what was that? Hang on, Gary. This bloke's just appeared out of fucking thin air. I don't think so, buddy. It's fucking Jesus himself. Now that's the clip splitting, and here comes the aimbot. Bang, does the flick, looks past him, comes back, glitches past him. How dare he put a Juice WRLD song behind fake clips. And here is another epileptic-inducing clip where he glitches back and forth with his aimbot. He's even slowed it down for us here. How kind of you, sir. Okay, slow-mo on slow-mo. I've got this frame by frame here. Bang on the character, back to where he was looking before. Bang, somewhere, bang, where are you going, mate? You don't even know where, back to where he was before. What the fuck? The Serpent Classic is a fucking hack. Just to show you guys what an actual proper flick looks like, I've got one here for you. Bang, straight down his throat. We're not going to bloody Bethlehem or anything. Come up the ramp here. Bang, clean 360 straight to the chin. No bullshit. Also, this isn't concrete evidence, but the people Serpent messaged in his video exposing Cakewood have responded to DMs saying that Cakewood never DM'd them, but in fact Serpent was the one who reached out to them and was willing to promote their product. And to finish off the conversation, they were asked, does Serpent use the product? And they responded with the good old. But anyway, this doco's probably gone on for a fair while now, so I'm going to wrap it up. This video isn't made to destroy Serpent, but more to show that there are macro users and cheaters out there. Do not believe everything that you see. Also, if you have any hard evidence on anyone else cheating, send it over to Detective Craig and he'll gladly take a look at it. Thank you for watching, folks. Until next time.